So like every year, 2025 is going to be a massive year for new drivers. Now I've got two drivers in my hand, the Titleist GT3 and the Taylormade Qi35. Now I need something new for my bag this year. I'm not going to go through the fitting process, but we're going to go head to head and see which one of these is going to survive and get in my bag for this season. So before I even hit a shot, I'm going to throw it out there. I think all the modern equipment's great. The key thing for me is you need to get them set up properly for you to see how they perform. So both of these drivers I've set up absolutely perfectly for me. I'm going to test them in two ways though. We're going to go head to head for outright performance. I'm also going to go then about how easy I find it with the different models to maybe shape the ball, because I do like to draw it and fade it if I can. Don't always get it right, but which of the clubs do I find easier to kind of get in play? Ultimately, which one hits it the furthest for me? And a little bit of forgiveness is nice, which is what all the modern drivers are talking about. So I'm going to hit a few first off with the Taylormade. And my first comment behind the golf ball, I'll be honest, I was a little bit underwhelmed when I first got it out of the wrapper. The more I've hit, the more I'm kind of getting to like the different look, but it is kind of maybe a little bit longer front to back than fits my eye. But let's hit a few with this and let's see what the numbers are like. So a nice opener, good strike, nice club head speed, nice ball speed, good carry. Now a little bit off centre, but again, still very good ball speed, great carry, and nice and accurate. Again, lovely ball speed. I'm just hanging a little bit down that right-hand side. Again, good strike, just turning over a little bit. Kind of an unusual one for me, the little drawy one nowadays. But again, good ball speed, nice carry, good total at just under 290. Again, a little bit off centre, but still very impressive ball speed at 159. 263 carry, 291 total. And I would stress, I'm not trying to do anything particular with these. I'm just swinging, kind of hoping the ball will go fairly straight, but not too much about shape. This is just about how the driver performs. So there, left the club face open. So first wide one, see ball speed dropped off a little bit, still carry and total pretty good. Now, when the manufacturers talk about forgiveness, they're not talking about that. That one that's missed the fairway right is all me delivering the club face out of position and missing to the right. But what they are talking about is those off-centre strikes. We should be seeing more ball speed, therefore more consistent distance with the little misses. Now, that moves me into the Titleist. So GT3, now obviously this one was out in 2024, but still a current driver. And I'll be honest, when I put this behind the ball, I think this fits my eye a little bit more. I prefer the shape, but I have played Titleist drivers for the last kind of 4 years, so I kind of understand why that fits in. But I'll be honest, I put some pretty good swings on the Taylormade one. So again, let's hit a few with this and let's see how this stacks up. Oh, and I definitely fell a bit more towards the toe. So probably the worst strike with either driver so far, but still decent ball speed, good carry, good total. And that's what I do love, even though in theory GT3 is not the most forgiving of the heads, I still think there's tons of forgiveness in there. And if you are somebody who's quite visual that likes the shape, that could be a sticking point for you with certain drivers. Again, wasn't great strike-wise, but 156 ball speed, 262 carry and 287. And good strike, a little bit slower club head speed, but ball speed 157, 260 carry, 292 total. You're definitely seeing, I mean, I'll bring the averages up later, but you can definitely see how similar the equipment performs. I know the manufacturers will say lots of different tech and things, but they do perform very, very similar when they're set up well for you. Again, 156, 267 and 293. Again, good solid strike. Very consistent numbers, maybe not rolling out quite as far. Ooh, that was good, right out the middle. 108 club speed, ball speed just under 160, nearly 270 carry and 296 total. So I'll be honest, I didn't feel the strike was maybe quite as good with the Titleist one, but let's just pull the averages up just for out and out performance of drivers. Right, so we can see I was very fractionally quicker club head speed with the Taylormade, ball speed slightly quicker with the Taylormade, carry less than a yard longer with the Taylormade, and total just over half a yard difference. And if we look at the dispersion of the two drivers, which is more down to me, we can definitely see there the Titleist one's slightly tighter, but that one out to the right there is all user error, so incredibly similar. So we can see, I mean, the overall numbers for club head speed, ball speed, carry and total, almost identical, which like I said during the video there, I think I'd expect that. The equipment is so good from every manufacturer now that if it's set up in the right way for you and you swing relatively consistently, you should see very similar results. Now, I'll be honest, I think looks-wise, I do slightly prefer the Titleist, but I did think when I first got out of the plastic, not for me, but yeah, when it's performing like that, it kind of looks a bit better. Feel-wise, quite weirdly, even though I've kind of been a Titleist fan the last few years, kind of just maybe leaning towards the Taylormade for feel. So the other thing I would look at here is, can I shape the ball how I want? Can I hit some draws? Can I hit some fades? So let's go for the little fadey one with the Taylormade. So I'm gonna aim down that left-hand side, try and hit that little fade. Definitely a bit more shape than I wanted, but maybe just clinging onto that right edge. Not the best strike, but certainly was able to work the ball left to right. Now the little left to right one is more my stock one nowadays, so now let's try and hit that little drawy one with the Taylormade. Definitely overdone. So both of those there, straight away, kind of a little bit more shape than I'd want on both of those. And then, not that I actually do it a lot, but let's go for the fairly straight one. I think we have a winner with that, don't we? Definitely the straight one seems to be a little bit better for me at the moment. And that's great. Perfect numbers, long and very accurate. Now I would say at the moment, and it's not conscious something I've worked on, probably hitting driver as straight as I ever have hit the golf ball. I know if you're watching, you might be thinking, you know, well, why would you be trying to shape the ball? I'm a big believer that if you can take one side of the golf course out of play with shape, you'd be a better driver of the ball. So at the moment, I'm a little bit uncomfortable. It sounds strange, aiming at the middle of the fairway, but definitely the shapeless one I found fairly easy with the Taylormade. So let's go fade, draw, and straight with the Titleist. See if I can work this one better. So again, there's that shapy one, probably a fraction more than I wanted, but incredibly similar to the Taylormade one. We'll just set that off a bit further left. Let's go for the drawy one now. So aim up that right-hand side. Definitely feels like the strike might have helped me out a little bit there. No, not quite coming back. And then let's go for the shapeless one. And I will say, you know, the shaping it is more, it's definitely me, not the club, but do I find it easy with either of these? So the nice straight one. Just working a little bit left to right, but would be in play. So incredibly similar. I mean, like remarkably similar on overall performance. But I'll be honest, I think just slightly the Taylormade's ticking a few more boxes for me. So it might be a bit of a break from tradition for me. Looks like it might not be Titleist in the bag this year. So we'll probably go for the Taylormade Qi35. Comment below and let me know if you've been fitted. What did you come out with as best for you? But interesting to see what you look for in a driver and what you end up buying. Does it kind of match up with what you perceived you'd want and what you ended up with?